We've just asked the 4 questions about why tonight is different from all other nights. But these questions mostly explain what we do and not why we do it. The Seder, as the rabbis imagined it, was a night full of good questions. We are commanded to tell the story of the Exodus to our children each year, but the Seder was built around answering the questions that children asked. And the Mishnah tells us that a parent should teach according to what their children are able to understand. The Haggadah identifies 4 kinds of children and imagines the questions they ask. The wise son dutifully asks, "What are the laws that God has commanded us concerning Passover?" The parent is to teach them all of those laws, from the first to the last. The wicked son asks, "What does this even mean to you?" To you, but not to them. They are at fault because they separate themselves from the community. This would have been a very good question if they had asked, "What can this mean to me?" The simple child asks, "What is all of this? What's going on?" And the parent is to tell them the whole story. And with the child who doesn't know enough to ask questions, the parent is to take initiative and start the conversation. We all know that categorizing people like the rabbis do is never this simple. We know that there are all kinds of learners with all kinds of questions around our Seder tables. The only child in the Haggadah traditionally worthy of praise is the wise one, who simply wants to know all of the whats of Passover. But that seems like a child that is more smart than they are wise. So let's think for a moment. What does it mean to be wise? What is real wisdom? Take a moment and imagine the wisest person you know and share a little bit about them with each other. Think about the kinds of questions they asked and try to come up with some questions of your own. What questions do we need to ask ourselves this Passover, in this year, in this moment in our lives? Where are we? What can we not waste time on anymore? How are we more or less free this year than last? These are some ideas, but I hope that you'll all come up with some good questions of your own. Because the story of Passover, as we tell it at our Seder, is meant to both inspire these kinds of questions and help us start to find answers.